Would you buy or drive your car around with a flat tire or a partially flat one? Probably not. How about if your prop was damaged on your boat? Stick around to find out if you should have it repaired. Hi, I'm Sean from Cove, Lessons in Boating, and all the time we see damaged propellers and we talk to our customers about it and we get various answers. Oh no, that's fine, don't worry about it, or yes, please fix it right away. And being that props are really easy to damage, not only by hitting the bottom of a lake or a river or wherever you are on a rock or a stump, but even floating debris or things that you would drive over in the lake and not even notice can damage a prop. It can also happen in the yard, at a ramp. It's very, very common. So in today's video, I'm going to explain what happens to a boat when the prop is damaged, and then I'm going to show you 3 different props with various degrees of damage and let you know whether I would have it repaired or not and what my recommendation is. If you like today's video, make sure you throttle that like button, subscribe to get on board for more of these type of videos. So there are 3 main different types of propellers, and they'll all have a different impact to your boating if they get damaged. Let's start with an aluminum propeller, like this one over here. When an aluminum propeller is on a lower unit, like a stern drive or an outboard, when a prop is damaged, it will rotate slightly out of balance, and the more damage that it has, the more out of balance it will rotate. And as you're going down the lake at speed on plane, a wide open throttle, you may notice a vibration and feel that thump, thump, thump in the lower unit. If it's really mildly damaged, you may not feel it at all. But what is absolutely true is as that prop rotates and as it's out of balance, that vibration, even minute, is being transferred through to your drive and can impact and over time damage the seals that hold the lower unit lubricant in. So those seals that are on the prop shaft eventually get worn as the prop vibrates, and over time, if it damages one section of that seal, it will allow lower unit lubricant to leak out and could eventually cause catastrophic damage. If it's a stainless steel propeller, it's going to be even more exaggerated. Why? Because they're heavier. So as that propeller rotates and gets up in RPM, that weight being thrown around will cause more vibration than aluminum propeller, simply because it's a heavier prop on the shaft. And so that damage to those shaft seals is going to be more possibly rapid, particularly on a twin counter-rotating drive, like a Bravo or a Volvo DP drive, because those props are counter-rotating against each other and there's a shaft within a shaft, and so there's multiple seals that can be damaged in those lower units. If this is a bronze or brass prop, like on a inboard towboat like a Mastercraft Nautique, or on a big cruiser that's an inboard, what you're going to find is that there are no seals per se that could cause lower unit lubricant to damage because there's no lower unit. But what can happen, other than you feeling the vibration on the boat, is it can wear what's called a cutlass bearing, which is where the shaft runs through the strut. So over time, it will wear and cause that shaft to vibrate back and forth and could cause a transmission or shaft damage over time. But on a large boat with inboards or an inboard towboat, you don't at least have to worry about lower unit lubricant leaking out. Okay, so let's start with this propeller. This is an aluminum propeller on a Mercruiser Alpha drive. And as you can see, there is just a little bit of damage. There's a bit of paint missing, which is not a big deal. You can feel a little bit of a rough surface, but this blade right here is where the actual impact happened, and there's a bit of a curl in the blade. This propeller is totally serviceable the way it is, meaning the damage to the seals in the lower unit may not even happen, and the vibration is either not noticeable or definitely won't bother you. If this was my boat, what I would do is I would buy a new propeller and then I would keep this one. I wouldn't even have it repaired. And this makes an excellent backup propeller for one day in the future if you do hit something and really damage a prop and it takes off a big part of the blade or a whole blade, because you can swap out this propeller and keep on boating for the weekend. So that's what I would do. Buy a new one, keep this one for a spare, and keep on boating. If the new propeller was damaged beyond repair, then you could have this one repaired to make it perfect and new again. Here's an example of a really badly damaged stainless steel prop. You can see actually that they've done some damage to the lower unit and clipped off the skeg. But one of the things about a stainless prop, and I've talked about it on this video here about the difference between aluminum and stainless and how the damage occurs and what it does to the lower unit, is that this one impacted so hard that it curled these stainless steel blades, all three of them. And what you would find with this prop is that it would vibrate very, very badly to the point where you'd feel it in the steering wheel while you're driving the boat. And with that weight rotating around, it's going to slowly or fairly quickly start to damage those seals in the lower unit. On a prop like this, I would have it repaired right away. I might even grab an aluminum prop as your spare so you can put it on and go boating again. After, of course, having the shop check to make sure that there's no other damage. But this prop is no longer usable and should be repaired right away. If this was an aluminum propeller and it hit that hard, it probably would have sheared these blades right off and they'd be gone. So this aluminum propeller is a little bit worse than the first one. There's a piece of this blade missing. This blade is curled right over, and there's no question you'd be able to feel this when you were at wide open throttle. There'd be a slight vibration. I'd definitely drive this home. There's no immediate risk, but I definitely wouldn't use this much more than a day maximum before I had this propeller repaired. It's not good enough to keep as a spare at this point, so I'd probably send this one out to be repaired right away. One little trick when you're looking to buy a used boat to find out how much damage or how many times a prop has been hit is that there'll be an original manufacturer's number stamped into the prop, and it'll often have a part number or a manufacturer name on it. You'll also see that any good propeller repair shop will print a number in here every time they repair it. So you can see by this prop, it's been repaired 4 times. Of course, if they get to this point, you shouldn't probably use it again. So whether you're buying a boat used and you're inspecting it and looking for prop damage, or it's your own boat and you're deciding what should I do now that I've nicked it on a log or a rock, you see that prop damage can have a real impact on your boating. It can definitely have an impact on resale value. So if you're thinking about selling your boat, you may want to have that propeller swapped out or changed so it's not an alarm bell for the buyer. And there can be long-term damage if you leave a badly damaged prop too long. You may want to check out this video here where we go over boat insurance, because sometimes when you have really bad damage, it can be covered by your policy. Thanks for joining us on today's Lens Cove Lessons in Boating. Make sure you subscribe to get on board for more of these type of videos. If you like today's video, make sure you throttle that like button, get out on the water, have fun, and stay safe.